I showed my wife like a week later. I'm like, wait a second, Marty York in a fight on Team Z, and I'm like, but I watched, and it was like a pretty cool way to be on Team Z that was not negative.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it was framed. You looked pretty badass, at least.
Yeah,
I mean-
I would have fucking ran. If you grew up on a baseball diamond or pretended that you did, you already know today's guest.
He played the loudest, scrappiest, most enthusiastic kid in the Sandlot, the one and only Yeah.
He helped turn a summer movie about a lost baseball into a generation-defining film.
We're thrilled to have him on the show. Please welcome Marty York. From our childhood to yours, welcome to the Not So Little Rascals.
Hi, Marty.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us, dude.
how are you guys?
We're stoked.
Doing
Good.
good.
Stoked to have you. We like to start this thing off asking about the call that changed your life.
Mhm.
I think Sandlot is on the Mount Rushmore of like 90s ensemble movies, you know, that were for kids. It's one of my favorites.
Thank you.
You know, it's you're pretty iconic. I'm stoked to have you. So I want to hear about that first call that kind of changed your life.
Thanks, man. Little Rascals is up there too. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, dude.
Call that changed my life. I mean, I was from a very small town in Northern California. I was 30 miles north of Sacramento. It was called Grass Valley. And, you know, I did a lot of theater when I was a kid. And I moved up to LA when I was about 10 years old. My mom and my dad kind of split up and came out here and was enrolled in a Catholic school and had some issues at that school because I was new to LA. And I mean, I came from a town where, like, when I came here, I was just blown away by the studios and, you know, driving past Warner Brothers for the first time, being like, oh my God, you know, like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just done little theater gigs. And the first thing I did, my aunt was actually an extras talent agent for extras and background people.
Uh-huh.
So she said, hey, do you guys want to be in a movie with John Candy called Delirious? And my mom was like, yeah, let's do it. And at that time, John Candy was like the biggest star in the world.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we are like, yeah. So we're on set, the Warner Brothers backlot, and we were filming. And when they said cut, the actor like forgot his line doing it with John Candy. And I remembered the guy's line. So I did the guy's line to my mom. And John Candy said, hold on, do that again. And I did it. And he was like, that's pretty good, kid. And to my mom, he's like, does this kid have an agent? And my mom was like, no. And he's like, well, here you go. And he takes out a piece of toilet paper from his pocket, writes the number to my first agent,
John Candy.
John Candy,
That's awesome.
which was Media Artist Group. That was my first agent. We set up the appointment. I went in, I auditioned the very next day, and I got into the agency. And she said, we have a Colgate toothpaste commercial. And that was the first day I auditioned. So I went that was the first thing I ever did. And I had to dance with a little girl. And I was so scared, I hid behind the chair. They coaxed me out. I came out and I danced with this little girl and I got the role. Yeah, after that, they just called me back and said, we want him to be in the same company said we want him to be in a ragu spaghetti sauce, play this little Italian kid playing bocce ball.
I can see that.
So I did that. And then my mom was like, this is easy. And then, because it's like right out the gate, I did stuff. And then I didn't get anything for like a year.
Uh-huh.
I was auditioning and auditioning and auditioning.
How old were you at the time, if you don't mind me asking?
I was 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I didn't get anything till probably I would like February of the next year. I auditioned for Sandlot.
Yeah.
I auditioned for a different character. I auditioned for Bertram, who's the tall kid with the glasses in the movie.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, we want you to come back for a callback. And at that time, Bertram had different lines in the treehouse. Squints didn't have the whole monologue. It was like different things. So
Sure.
it was just the lines were talking about the beast and him in the lean-to next door. So I auditioned for that, got a callback, got the role of Bertram. And my mom was like, oh my God, you're like in this feature film that Fox is doing. And
That's big.
you know, yeah. And at the time it wasn't called The Sandlot. It was actually called Boys of Summer.
Okay.
That's what the script said. So
Sounds like a different film.
it did. But there was actually
Work the
another
title.
there was another film called Boys of Summer.
Oh.
So we couldn't use Boys of Summer.
Yeah.
So, you know, they kind of sent a lot of us to the baseball field to practice. And we're all kind of, practicing because I'd never played baseball in my life. I played
really?
soccer for like 3 years.
Sure.
But I never played baseball. So they were like, they took me to this baseball field and they kind of pulled me forward with my mom. And they said, hey, he doesn't really fit the role. So we're like, oh, that's it. That's end of this dream, And they said, well, we have a different character named Yeah. that we'd like him to audition for. And yeah, has a ton of energy. So we'd like you to bring a ton of energy to the role. The next day I had to audition. She took me to the local liquor store. Didn't buy me liquor, but got me one of those giant Hershey's bars, just full of sugar.
Yeah.
And she said, eat that whole thing.
Classic. There you go.
Yeah. So I ate it and went in there and auditioned for and the rest is history.
Wow.
That's
so cool.
It's really crazy how similar that is. We both were auditioning and got, we took the place of a different actor for each of our roles in Little Rascals. And it seems like that happens a lot as a kid because, they hire a kid and any second something could change if they find someone a little more fitting.
Yeah.
Especially that age.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they start doing camera tests and stuff and if they just don't vibe, they replace them. And that's kind of what happened to me. Like we were told we didn't get Little Rascals. And then we got a call saying, oh, you got it. And we're like, wow, it was insane. Just
didn't you have a very the froggy-ish voice?
I did. And it's
it's crazy that they would cast you for something different, like when you had that voice.
Well, for me, it's what's funny, I wouldn't have gone it. My coach at the time, and I've said this, it was Blake Lively's parents were Ernie and Elaine Lively, very known acting coaches. They are the ones that knew the movie or the classic show. And they were like, just go in and do the voice, put these glasses on. Because I was going back and forth for someone else and I was too short. And the minute I did that, when casting already likes you, it sounds like in your case, they already liked you. They almost just need to see you in a role that fits and they wanted to give you a part.
Yeah.
And I think for me, they wanted to get me in something that fit because they liked me. And that's, I think what happens a lot as a kid, you can be a fun, cute, charismatic kid and the casting is rooting for you as you're a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought you'd be like Froggy from the Bat with that voice, man.
I know. That's, it was dubbed over by Tommy Pickles though.
Oh, really?
E.G. Daily.
Funny.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A lot of people take really offense when they say I was Froggy. They're like, you didn't do the voice. And I was like, I was there.
Yeah.
I was standing there. I talked.
You did.
And the checks were for me. So
did they tell you to watch the old Little Rascals before you did it?
Not really specifically, but all of our parents knew because that was the lucky part for us. We walked into a franchise that all the kids' parents knew.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Little Rascals with my dad on the weekends.
Oh, wow.
I was on Sundays watching black and white.
Yeah.
So I was very familiar with it. When we got that movie, oh shit, life's about to change.
Well,
at least my mom thought so.
Well, that's probably the difference. It felt like people knew the Rascals would be bigger because it already had some franchise built in. What was it felt like being on the set of Sandlot? Was there any talk of that, or just it was another film in the summer that accidentally became this iconic film?
Yeah, it was like a big summer camp, really.
Yeah.
We were just playing baseball every day, and there was never really any talk about is this movie going to be big. It was just us having fun.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff in Sandlot was improvised.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny because I think 10 days into filming, because I think we filmed Sandlot in about 45 days, and it was always
quick.
over the summer of '92.
Yeah.
So I got the role, and then 2 months later they were like, we're sending you guys to Utah. Because Utah looks like Salt Lake City did. Well, part of Utah looked like Salt Lake City, or Pacoima did. That's where Sandlot was supposed to be in the 1960s. And Pacoima did not look, and the 90s did not look like that in the 1960s. So
sure,
we went out there. Yeah, there was never any talk about, is this movie going to be huge? It was always it was us having the best summer of our lives. I just remember a lot of the off-camera stuff that we did.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's just had fun. A bunch of teenage boys.
Yeah.
We snuck up into the movie Basic Instinct.
Oh yeah,
that's a story I always tell.
Yeah,
we were Tom's brother, who was the oldest. He was 18 already. We'd all talked about the Sharon Stone scene.
Yeah,
there's a Sharon Stone scene, and Sharon Stone at the time was the hottest girl.
Yeah,
so
you guys all grew up real quick.
We did that day.
Yeah.
So he opened up the back door to the theater and let us all in. And,
super classic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's funny. The littlest kid that played Repeat, he was like, "Oh, I want to go see Fern Gully."
Not today, buddy.
So have fun, buddy. I don't think today to this day he still hasn't seen Basic Instinct.
Oh, we got to change that. We'll get him in here. I'll still play it for him.
Yeah, yeah.
So Sandlot I might have missed this, but did you say it was filmed in Utah?
Yeah.
So the whole movie was filmed in Utah. In Salt Lake City?
Yeah, the only thing that we didn't film in Utah was the interior treehouse scenes, which was incredible because that was the hottest summer that we'd ever experienced.
Sure.
And they literally had buckets of what's called sea breeze. It's like an antiseptic that it cools you down, and they would mix it with water and put ice in it. And so when they would say cut, when we were done doing scenes, because we were on the Sandlot field like all day.
Yeah.
They would put these sea breeze wraps around our neck, and we would go in our trailers where it was air conditioned and cool down. And they say, all right, come back out,
You gotta be careful when you're kids.
Yeah.
So there's more liability and issues that could come up.
Yeah, totally.
Well, in the 90s, they did a lot of shit that, we couldn't do.
Wouldn't fly today.
Yeah, it wouldn't fly today,
If your parents complain, you get put on a list.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, a lot of us did our own stunts in the film. Like the whole, me going over the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really about 20 feet in the air, hanging on this fiberglass harness
That's
by
awesome.
little steel wires. And like the fence below was, it was like this.
Yeah.
So like one wrong move, I fall and I'm impaled on this fence.
But you were having the best time of your life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're
I mean,
stoked.
I was having trust in the prop guys that they made this right. And
Of course.
it was, I still have the harness. It's like this big now, but it's like,
That's cool.
yeah, it's very cool.
Who were your closest buddies on it growing up? Like, who do you remember vibing with the best and hanging out with the most? Was it kind of just like a pack? Like, you guys were all just...
Yeah. Really all the guys except Victor DiMattia, who played Timmy,
Yeah.
ended up becoming pretty much my best friend. And
Yeah.
we actually hung out again before the whole Sandlot phenomenon started up again. And
Yeah.
it was weird because when we wrapped the film, it wasn't as big as it is today. It was so weird because Jurassic Park 93 was like a slew of some of the biggest hits in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had like, I think Twister and Jurassic Park, and Sandlot had come around at the same time as like Jurassic Park, and that movie just like destroyed us. Like,
Yeah. Jurassic Park was a big deal.
it was like a juggernaut. Then after Sandlot, I just was like doing show after show after show after show, like it wouldn't stop.
That's what happens. You do a big movie and you get to do like the guest star circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like moved straight from there to Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Did the first episode with Danielle, where she became Topanga on that episode. She was only supposed to be a day player.
No
Okay.
shit.
Yeah. And she became, one of the main characters in the show. And I was actually supposed to be I was supposed to be their third friend.
Yeah.
And originally they had 4 or 5 of the guys from Sandlot in that show. I think Chauncey, who played Squints, and Pat, who played Ham, were on the pilot episode.
Mhm.
And they didn't really work out with them. And then they brought me in, and I did 3 episodes of Boy Meets World, and I had a recurring role. And then I was in what's called the death chair. So like everybody that sat in that chair, it's the third chair in the lunchroom. Everybody that sat in that chair that's supposed to be their friend was like gone off the show in like, 3 or 2 episodes or
Just
whatever.
didn't fit.
It was like
Yeah.
a cursed chair.
It was like a cursed chair.
Yeah.
So when I did our podcast, I talked about that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I flubbed that line with Mr. Feeney, Bill Daniels. And that's why I got canceled. And they're like, no. That's the death chair. Don't worry. Everybody that sat in that chair got kicked off the
But
show.
So they had their own
Yeah.
theory on how that happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Were you hired like to be a full season player and then it got reduced, or was it just you might end up being more, so it didn't feel as bad?
Yeah, it was hired as a recurring role. So I thought that was going to turn into a series regular. And it didn't. And then Danielle kind of turned into like his girlfriend on the show. And
Yeah.
That's those themes you learn early as a kid. Like we talked about, you learn rejection, you learn how things can be, handed to you and taken away,
Yeah.
and you learn the business early.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost good to learn it early,
Mm-hmm.
because then nothing can phase you, and you just kind of keep focusing on
Yeah.
what's next, and controlling what you can.
Yeah. You learn it's cutthroat from a young age.
Even for kids,
You get
Yeah.
forced to grow up a lot quicker than, you'd like.
Still
Yeah.
business.
But it's business,
Yeah.
and it's work. Was your mom the one taking you to most of the auditions and stuff as a kid?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. What was that relationship like?
Me and my mom had kind of like a rough relationship.
Yeah.
And this is in the documentary I'm doing called Beyond the Lot.
Cool.
That kind of goes through me and my mother's relationship. But, my mother was a very good mom. I mean, she was like, what is it? Not Marsha Brady. What's the Brady Bunch mom?
Mrs. Brady.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Brady.
there you go.
I don't
That
remember.
sounds right.
She was like that till I was like 10. And then her and my dad separated. She kind of came out to LA and became wild, started wearing like short dresses and like teasing her hair up and it kind of became like a fractured relationship. She left me before I got Sandlot. I was going to a Catholic school and staying in almost like a boys' home. It was like this kid that I went to school with's mom, and she took in a bunch of boys that were like, didn't really have families.
Mm.
Was this in LA?
Yeah, this was actually in Woodland Hills.
What school?
Oh.
It was Our Lady of the Valley.
Our Lady of the Valley. Because you mentioned Catholic school. I went to Alamany.
Okay.
It's on the other side, another
Oh,
Catholic
I
school.
went to Chaminade,
But
another one.
Yeah.
Chaminade's in Santa Clarita, isn't it?
No,
No, Chaminade's over here.
Okay, I've heard of Chaminade.
Yes, we're all Catholic schoolboys.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
mine was Our Lady of the Valley in Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I went to that school and it was tough being a kid. You know, I had the mullet, and I know you guys had mullets in the.
Oh yeah, we all had a
It's
mullet.
tough, man.
And back then, the mullet wasn't as cool as it is now.
No,
no, sir.
Theo
it's the
Vaughn made the
opposite.
mullet cool, but
Yeah.
yeah, back then it was like not as cool. And so, you know, I'd get picked on at school. What is that stupid haircut you got? And yeah, I was the smallest kid. Yeah, it was rough in that Catholic school. And the kids did a lot of bad things too. They would like go into the warehouse and steal CDs, and we would take off on our bikes.
Yeah.
So it was rough. And my mom at the time was seeing my stepdad, or it never became my stepdad. It was my mom's boyfriend, who was actually one of the lead singers of Sha Na Na,
Okay.
which is like a huge rock band. You know, they had their own show, and
Yeah.
He
I
was-
remember that, like I know of the show Sha Na Na.
yeah,
Yeah.
because my mom was basically trying to make me a triple threat. So I had singing lessons,
Yeah, dude.
I had dancing lessons, I had acting
It's
lessons.
a good momager.
Yeah. So I was always gone, and like I was never really in school. I was like always doing my singing lessons or my acting lessons or dancing lessons, and I lived in Agua Dulce, which is on the way to Palmdale.
So how was like we talk about commuting LA, Santa Monica, like all in the
Yeah.
same day
Uh-huh.
is a lot, but at least we get home at night.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So were you
Agua Dulce is a
commuting?
different beast.
Yeah, did you ever stay out
Yeah.
here when you were auditioning, or do you always went back? So
No,
like, your
I
whole
always went
night
back.
was- so your whole day and evening was just
Yeah.
half driving.
Yeah.
And you were living in Agua Dulce while going on with auditions with your mom?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Which is like 60 miles one way.
yeah.
And driving for school, or you're staying
Yeah.
there. Okay.
And going to school. So
Yeah.
it was like, it became very tiresome.
Yeah. Like me, you spent a lot of time in the backseat of a car.
Exactly. Yeah.
but that quickly helps to make it like when you get old, like tired of acting.
Mm-hmm.
The commuting aspect, the audition, like that whole lifestyle people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets you tired. Like the grind of it
Yeah.
is very real, and you had a different version of that.
Yeah. Did your mom have the Thomas guide?
Oh yeah.
Thomas Guide, and then
Yeah.
when MapQuest came, that was just
MapQuest
the,
came to change
Yeah.
the game.
the easier relief. But like real maps, like
Uh-huh.
I can't go anywhere without my phone. I feel like now, even just
Yeah, me neither.
down the street, I'm like automatically, oh man, I shouldn't need this.
Oh yeah.
But
Like,
I'm
I'm
happy
like,
to
how
have
did
it.
we live with this before? Because it's funny because like after before we had this GPS stuff, I was like looking at Thomas guides when I was first able to drive and start going on auditions, and like, oh, go to D3 to like F4 and it connects, and you're like, what?
We lost all these skills that we had to have.
Exactly, because it's
Yeah.
easy now, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you had siblings too, right?
Yeah, I had two sisters.
Same.
So how was that with acting and your mom? Like, how was that dynamic?
You know, it was my sisters. Well, when we first moved out here, it was hard because my mom left my sisters with my grandma,
Uh-huh.
and my grandma was kind of taking care of them while she was getting me situated here. And then she met not my stepdad, my mom's boyfriend, Don, who was in Sha Na Na, who once she met him and they decided to stay together, she brought my sisters out. And then we lived in Sun Valley, I think, for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Agua Dulce from there, and we're renting a house.
Mhm.
And then when I got Sandlot, my mom found a way to take some of the money out for the down payment for the house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how she did it, but
That's how they all
Probably
do it.
tell you.
That's how they all do it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I didn't find out till later on in my life,
Yeah.
but she was like, "Oh, which house do you like?" You know, and like we were like house hunting together.
Yeah.
And there was a house down the street that was beautiful. It had like a courtyard and tile roof, and it looked like a castle. And I was like, I like this house, and it had a little koi pond and like the courtyard. It was very cool.
Right. At least you got to pick your house, Marty.
Yeah. At least I got that, you know.
Yeah.
But I said, oh, I want this house, and little did I know my acting money was the down payment for the house.
Yeah. Looking back at that in retrospect, like, I mean, you helped buy your first family home. Like, that's pretty cool. But also, you know, that money was used without your permission, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of a weird thing to think about because I kind of went through the same exact thing.
Mhm.
Like, our first family home was purchased with my acting money.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I imagine it was the same way. Like, parents make themselves manager,
Mhm.
and then they actually have control over your money. If they make themselves your manager,
Mm-hmm.
they have the power to invest it,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds like that's what they did.
It would have just been easier if they just took a salary and just made it like that. I feel like if everyone did that, which they could have done,
Yeah.
that'd be easier.
Yeah. I mean, they had the Coogan account when we were
Yeah.
doing this, but
Yeah.
there was so many loopholes in it.
So many loopholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you could say hardship or this or that, and the parents could take the money out.
yeah. And they were already entitled to 10% right off the bat because, you know, taking you to auditions, you know,
Mhm.
haircuts,
Mhm.
fittings and all that stuff, like they're entitled to 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they make themselves a manager, they're entitled to another 10%.
Yeah.
But then also have the ability to invest your money on your behalf. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. But I don't know, something kind of like being able to provide your family with a home. I mean, it's something to be proud of.
It is.
You know, that is a silver lining.
We should be proud that we did that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Like being proud here and having money here, and you have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, no shit.
So you said you didn't like play baseball at all.
Yeah.
So you're in the movie that's tied to baseball forever. And I saw in some vast interviews you talked about being in places where like there's pro athletes in baseball that said like that movie's the reason I wanted to become a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
As being in that movie made you enjoy the sport, or did you like go away from it like, oh, I'm tied to this sport forever? I don't like it.
I mean, I'll forever be a Dodgers fan. I was a Dodgers fan from being a little kid.
Yeah.
Because when they filmed the last scene, when Benny plays for the Dodgers, I don't know why we were at Dodger Stadium and it was completely empty. And it's kind of funny how we even got to do the last scene at Dodger Stadium. Our DP was friends with Tommy Lasorda, so he was like, we have to shoot the last scene at Dodger Stadium. Benny joins the Dodgers and he plays for the Dodgers. And we're like, how are we going to do this and fill the stadium with people? And he was like, I'm friends with Tommy Lasorda. And he was like, get out of here. So they go to Dodger Stadium. Tommy's actually in his office in his underwear because it's such a hot day. And he comes in and he goes, hey, Tommy, like we're doing this movie, The Sandlot. I'd love if, we could shoot here. Tommy goes, yeah, go ahead. He's like, what day you want to do it? And Tommy gave us the permission, and that's how we shot at Dodger Stadium.
That's awesome.
So I don't know why our moms brought us there because we weren't even in that scene.
Sure.
But we were running around Dodger Stadium when we were like 12 years old, going in and out of like doors. And I remember Chauncey, who played Squints, got locked in doors and he couldn't get out of. And he was like hitting the door, and I walked over. I'm like, Chauncey? And he's like, get me out of here. And we were just running around having fun at Dodger Stadium. And yeah, I've been a Dodger fan ever since.
The perks.
That's rad. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, you've actually had like a baseball adjacent career, like that's been longer than most professional baseball players.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's crazy because, as I said, the movie's bigger now than it ever was.
Sure.
And it kind of took off in 2018. So like my life took a weird trajectory after like I did Sandlot, and then I did all these guest starring roles on all these TV shows. I was on like Boy Meets World and Sliders and Wings and Saved by the Bell and all these other shows.
Yeah.
When I was 17, I got in a bad car accident going to an audition, actually. Because I told you I was driving from Aqua Dulce to, I would wake up, go to school, leave school halfway through the day, drive all the way to Hollywood while I'm like looking down, trying to memorize my lines.
Sure.
Get there, look for the parking. There's never parking in LA. You guys know this.
Yeah.
Then you would like park, get a ticket, whatever, go in the audition. You're all flustered. And, finally ended up catching up with me. And I was like looking down when they looking at my lines, and I looked up and I was over the double yellow line, and another car just bam.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
And I had a GL Metro at the time convertible, which was like a tin can.
Yeah.
So the engine the car was already small. It was probably about a little bit bigger than this table.
Right.
Like width wise.
Just for perspective, like in cars that you don't want to be in a head-on collision in,
That's the number one.
that's number one.
Yeah, they don't even make Geo Metros anymore because of all the debts. Yeah. So, yeah, that happened, and I actually died. I died on scene, and I remember they resuscitated me, and they were like, "He's still awake. He's still awake. We got him awake. We got him awake." And I heard the helicopter blades because the helicopter came down and airlifted me out of this, because I wouldn't have made it if they were just ambulance there, going by ambulance. So they took me back, and then I was in an induced coma for like I think 6 days.
Oh wow.
And I woke up and I was having a dream. I remember having a dream that I was being kidnapped, and that my leg they had put metal through my leg and they were holding it, and I was trying to like loosen it and I couldn't get it free. So I woke up out of the coma after the 6th day, and I was screaming like, help me, and all these nurses rushed in, and I was like, get away from me. I thought they were the kidnappers.
Yeah.
And
you knew about where you were.
I had no idea where I was. They go, you've been in a very bad car accident. You need to relax. Your leg is in traction. This piece of metal is holding your leg together. If you keep shaking, the metal that they've placed in your leg will fall apart.
Wow. And that's it.
And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Dude. It's a lot to wake up to.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't aware of everything that happened as I was in this coma, that a chaplain had showed up with my parents. My dad had driven down he lives out near San Luis Obispo, had come down, and they prayed basically because the chaplain's like, he might not make it through the night. So that was the first night I was in there in intensive care. And then I made it, woke up, had a lot of bad concussion. They'd shown me pictures of the car like 2 or 3 weeks after. And I was just like, holy shit. Like, they're like, dude, this is a miracle. And they brought the car to the junkyard, and the guy said, who died?
Oh, dude.
It was like a box of a car.
There was no front end. And the engine had actually come through the front, and that's what broke my legs.
Wow. So what did that accident do to you mentally? And like what happened after that?
I mean, after that, I just basically told my mom, done. I'm not doing this anymore. I was burnt out on the industry. I was burnt out on constantly auditioning, burnt out on the rejection. I was at the height too. And she said, are you sure you want to do this? Because I was auditioning for like Free Willy, like the lead in that. Yeah. And I was auditioning for like The Good Son. And I was like literally right there against Elijah Wood.
I could see that.
Yeah. So I was like, because me and him looked very similar as kids. So like we were like neck and neck for a lot of stuff. And, he was the more famous actor at the time.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, after that, I just told her, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
So that was kind of, the breaking point. But
yeah,
before that, you had started to feel some burnout. And like, did you feel like it was taken away from your childhood in a sense?
I never felt it was taken away from my childhood. I just felt like the stress of it was too much. I mean, and maybe that was taken away from my childhood. Yeah, I felt it was too much. And it was like, I wasn't getting my schoolwork done. I was leaving school every day early.
Same.
Doing too much driving.
Probably not hanging out with friends or like living a teenage life.
Yeah. I mean, I would hang out with friends on the weekend.
Yeah.
And every time I would get a role in something, my mom would be like, we're going to celebrate and do something for you. And she would make little flyers on the computer that said, you booked sliders. So now we're going to go paintballing or whatever,
That's actually kind of cute. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It's like I got little gifts for every time I booked something, or if I did an audition, because I got really sick of auditioning for stuff. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. She's like, just do it. I'll buy you a comic book, because I was really into comic books. Yeah. Like my first job was in a comic book shop.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, okay, fine. And I had a huge comic book collection. So the little gifts kept me going.
I think we all got gifts. After getting audition, we get candy or toys.
We go to the sports card store for me.
Yeah, we got little toys, and then they got our money.
Yeah, exactly. No shit.
That's not a fair trade.
You said you worked at a comic book store. Was that your first job, like civilian job?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's way better than mine.
Yeah, it was in Canoga Park.
Oh, really?
Where that Wells Fargo is in Canoga Park, as you're driving to like Bob's Big Boy, and it's down the street.
Yeah, I could kind of picture. I mean, I know that area.
That's funny.
Yeah, there was a comic book shop there, and that's where my mom would take me to buy comic books. And just like the smell when you walk in, I was just like, oh.
Very different and opposite than acting too. Got just to enjoy your hobby.
Yeah. So I would get a comic book when I would do good.
That's awesome.
And then I got to a point where I just was like burnt out, and I was just like, I'm done,
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes something that serious though to be able to get away, because it's either that or a mental break or something. Mm-hmm. Do you look back at that? Not that the accident was a good thing at all, but it was nice to have something stop you. Otherwise, maybe it would have been harder to do it yourself.
Yeah, I think so. Because I couldn't stop, because my mom just kept pumping me up as far as like, oh, you were right there for that, or you were right there for this. And, they would take you out in the hallway when we would go into these auditioning rooms, and you could hear the other person in the room. And then my mom would just take me away from that, because that would psych me out.
Sure.
So I would like go in another room, and she would get again. Like,
oh man, I remember that stuff.
Just like a soldier running lines, like just like again, till I had it like down. She's like, do it like this, do it like that, throw this in there. Right. And so
your mom was good. Your mom was good at what she did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she was. I mean,
yeah. I was a well-trained actor by
Yeah, you were disciplined
17.
and like. And she took, and she kept you going. She got you everywhere you needed to go. Yeah. Like, I'm sure you remember having to buy new clothes all the time.
It's hard being coached by your mom though. Like,
yeah, it is.
That relationship, it's like even now when you take advice from your husband, wife, girlfriend, friend, like it's always different than from a coach. Uh-huh. So I'm sure taking from your mom, you might know she's right, but it's hard to hear it from her probably. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like at the auditions.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like the line got blurred between being your mom and your manager? Like, was that also a reason for wanting to step away?
I don't think the line got blurred between her being a mom and a manager. I think she got to a point where I felt like I became just a piggy bank, honestly, because a lot of my money was used.
Yeah.
I think that's where the relationship started severing, when I started realizing like everything that I had bought from a kid was my own money. I mean, my Christmas presents were my money. If I wanted a car, she would find a way to get in that Coogan account and get that money out.
Yeah.
I had dirt bikes. I had all this stuff. It was my own money.
It's different if you know consciously.
Yeah.
Like this is how you get things.
Yeah. And I started like thinking in my head, like, I think this is my money that's being used for this stuff, and I'm not going to have anything when I hit 18.
You actually figured that out on your own?
Yeah. I started thinking that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, when I hit 18, I really had nothing left,
Right. Yeah. It was a similar situation for me. Like, I was like 21. It's like, all right, well, let's see it. Like, wait, what? Wait a second.
Yeah. Where's my
Well, there was a big stock market crash, and we tried, that house, and it's like, well, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. This is my shit.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Like
Jordan didn't have that problem. His parents handled his money very well.
Yeah.
He got to fuck it all off
I
himself.
got to blow it myself. That's
You got to blow it
that's
yourself.
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I got a lot of it for the cars and the dirt bikes
Sure.
and all that shit, but it's like,
No, but you would have consciously maybe done differently
Yeah.
at that age and realized
if you're
okay,
older.
I don't need everything. I want to enjoy my 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're a kid and you want,
Yeah.
I saw Terminator 2 and I wanted a dirt bike. I was like, I have to have a dirt bike now.
At what point would the Sandlot reunion stuff come back into play in terms of like either showing up or just even a reunion with the crew?
Yeah. So we did the 20th anniversary in 2013, and I hadn't seen a lot of the guys, up until then. It was very small. It was like, I think we went back to Utah to the actual Sandlot field where they filmed, and they redid the dugout and they redid the backstop.
That's so cool.
And we were signing autographs in the backstop. And I think they had enough tickets for 2,000 people, and like 4,000 people showed up. It wasn't huge, and we didn't get paid a lot for it. And then the 25th anniversary came around, and Fox hit us up, and they're like, hey, we want to do a tour of all the Major League Baseball stadiums with you guys.
I remember when you guys did this.
And we were like, really? And they were like, yeah, and they're going to pay you this amount of money. And we're like, holy shit.
Let's
Okay.
go.
I'm like, because my money's gone. Like,
Yeah.
But that's like but a tour. That's awesome. That's not a one-time like event.
yeah, it's like a tour. And I hadn't seen a lot of the guys for 25 years. So the first stop we did was the Angels, and that was a very cool experience.
Yeah.
We went into their press room, and they had a pair of PF Flyer cleats, and they were like, can you guys sign this? And like Mike Trout's like, oh, can you guys sign this? Like Mike Trout.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, like one of the best
sign this?
one of the best baseball players in history.
Yeah.
And they literally had a glass box, and they put it in the press room. It's still there.
Wow.
Sitting in the Angels press room.
That's so
Is
rad.
that like while you're on the tour and you're seeing it from that side after being older, like that's got to be a different experience, realizing for these guys that are stars, it meant something to them growing up. And like, it's funny when someone can meet you, like that's a different feeling of like appreciation for what you did probably.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. Like, and then we went to Dodgers, and it was game 3 against the Giants. And we came out of the Dodgers dugout before the game started, and we took our positions on the Dodger field that we played on the Sandlot. So I'm shortstop.
Yeah.
Timmy took first, Pat was catcher, and Denunez took pitcher. And, we got a standing ovation from 60,000 people. The whole thing was, and it was like the first time I was really like, holy shit. And I looked at the guys like, is this really happening?
Yeah. That was probably a moment where you've probably always known this, but that was probably a moment where it really hit home. You're like, this is a cultural phenomenon, this movie. Like, this movie means a lot.
25
it
years
touched
later, too.
so many people's lives. Like, you talk about Jurassic Park coming out the same year. Like, I've seen Jurassic Park a few times. Like, I could watch Sandlot 25 times throughout, like, so many times throughout my whole life. That movie doesn't get old to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a timeless, perfect story.
Yeah. The cool thing about Sandlot, and you guys will probably think it's about Rascals, is that like, they made each of the kids have their own special scene.
Yeah.
And that was the cool thing about David Mickey Evans, is he's like, I want all these kids to be stars.
Yeah.
So like every one of the kids in that film had their own little scene that they did.
True ensemble, which is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we really made the film.
Yeah.
Our character, the way we played our characters, that's why it took so long
getting these kids, because we would go to the Sportsman's Lodge when we
Yeah.
auditioned for this. You guys remember the Sportsman's Lodge?
Yeah, totally.
And we would go to the Sportsman's Lodge, and there would be like thousands of kids. And I would see a bunch of kids auditioning for Yeah Yeah. And they all look like me and shit. And I was like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
To narrow that down to actually be chosen was like very special.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, so what the casting process for Sandlot sounds like it was similar to Little Rascals. Like, was it kind of like a cattle call? I mean, were there just tons of kids and like,
Yeah, I mean, the first when I first got cast as Bertram,
yeah,
it was like that.
yeah,
And then they kind of narrowed it down to the kids that they wanted. I think they got a look in their head about the way they wanted these kids,
sure.
because they wanted like the fat kid and the black kid.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
fit together.
Yeah. And they wanted kind of like these Little Rascal kind of like, you know, kids that
Yeah.
would, when they all were together, they were forced to be reckoned with.
Sure.
So that's kind of like, you know, how Sandlot was.
That's
What's
rad.
cool too is like if you compare it to Jurassic Park has leveraged making a bunch of sequels, and that's why it's still popular. But no one rewatches the first. There's no like culture icon for that specific one.
Yeah.
And even if there's been other Sandlots and like they try to do another like Rascals,
Yeah.
the ones that we're in are still the endless reference, and like that won't be replaced.
Yeah.
And that's what's really different than any other film that's still popular. They try to squeeze sequels and prequels out of it.
Yeah.
There's very few movies where that feature stayed the same, and it's almost left alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Culture.
dated. Like you watch Jurassic Park and you're like, oh, like, you know, the effects are different. You know, you complain about
Oh,
this.
you watch the original Jurassic Park compared to the Jurassic Parks now, you're like, what happened?
What happened? You know, I feel like that happens with a lot of movies now, but you know, like practical movies like The Sandlot, which are an original screenplay, you know, just fully rely on the ensemble cast, you know, rather than effects or anything like that.
But even the effects that back then, they had animatronics, which
totally.
were way better than
yeah,
these visual effects that they have now.
yeah, totally. I believe it more.
Yeah, you watch the first Jurassic Park, you're like, holy shit, that's like a real dinosaur. Right
Yeah.
there. And then you watch it now, you're like, okay, that's CGI.
Yeah, it's clearly not a real dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you handle as a kid, like getting recognized and like pressure? And I mean, I know that for me, I was always I was a little embarrassed to say, like when people would ask me about the Little Rascals or recognize me or want to take pictures or autographs and stuff, like, you know, it always kind of weirded me out. Like, how did you handle that? Like, was that something you were, you know, open to? And like, did you ever feel uncomfortable or, you
It's
know?
weird. I mean, I grew up in a really small town.
Yeah.
You know, Aqua Dulce is still a very small town that I lived in. My mom had a ranch, so we had horses. The school that I went to was very small. And I was the only kid that was like this big actor in the school. And then Sandlot came out as I was transitioning from 5th grade into 6th grade.
Yeah.
I was very small as a kid and very skinny. So I like would go to school and the jocks would like, all the cheerleaders were like, oh my God, it's yeah. Like, and they would be on my shit and the jocks would be like, fuck you, you know, like little bitch. And
Jealousy.
yeah. They wouldn't like, cause there's jocks at every school. There's not actors at every school.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
Or
So
working ones.
yeah,
Working
working
ones.
ones. Yeah. Yeah. There's a kid that was in a fucking, you know, Cocoa commercial or something, but
Yeah.
you know, so it was hard. It was hard living that life, you know? I mean, I didn't spend too much time in school cause I was always on sets.
Did you ever do homeschool, or you just?
I did do homeschool.
Okay.
I mean, I did homeschool after I got in the car accident. That happened when I was 17. So I actually got my GED from I was like going to school in a rehab center.
You just try to get it done.
Yeah, it was like a rehab center, and like I was like they had a school there
Yeah.
for like homeschool, and it was like this satellite location, so you didn't have to go all the way to the high school to do the homeschool.
Sure.
So I went there and got my GED from there, and you know I never went to a prom. I never did any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have that kind of, you know, experience. As I was doing the rehab, I started learning how to work out, you know. That became something I was really intrigued in.
Yeah.
Because I always had comic books. I always collected them. I always wanted to look like Wolverine or like one of these superheroes. So I started like working out and really like lifting weights and learning how to eat right. And, you know, that became something that just stuck with me.
You seem a little bigger now than yeah.
Yeah. You're kind of fucking jacked.
I mean, that's the number one thing I get is like, it's like, are you sure you're the right guy? Like, I'm like, yeah,
That's me.
I ate the beast after the film.
Yeah.
But it just became something that, you know, it relieved stress because of my home life.
Sure.
I felt better when I left, and it changed like my dating life. And, you know,
you notice you gain a confidence from it that you don't
Sure that too.
you don't have before. So it's like,
It's that natural, like feeling good. Like I said, you leave feeling confident and good. It's not always about how you look at the end, but you feel different.
exactly.
Especially if you were smaller. Like I was always small growing up.
Uh-huh.
I'm still not big, but like
Yeah.
that sticks with you as a kid because you don't know the bullying is because they're jealous. You think it's because the other things because that's what they use.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes years to figure that out.
They'll go after you because you're small.
Yeah.
So like, and I was skinny as, I was like 110 pounds soaking wet. So I was like,
And the mullet doesn't help. I had that.
the mullet. Yeah. Nowadays that's in,
I know. I wish.
Now if you're skinny with,
Nick, our producer, he's got a little mullet action going.
that's not necessarily a mullet. That's
I know.
more
I
like
can tell.
a full head of hair. I would
I
say.
know. We both are very jealous. People always like,
me
why don't
too.
you bring back the mullet? I'm like, you think if I could, I would?
Yeah.
I would love to bring it back.
Please. I would love that.
Yeah, but the mullet's in, man. It's like,
yeah, it's totally.
you rock a mullet now, you're cool.
Did you ever feel pressure to keep performing even off camera?
No, I didn't.
No.
I mean, I felt pressured to go back into the business because like after I did Sandlot, I was like, what am I mean, I'm not saying after I did all these things I did, I just was like, what do I do with my life? I didn't know what to do. So I was looking to see what the guys from Sandlot were doing. And this is like when AOL was around and it said like Mike was like a firefighter. So I was like, maybe I should just do that. So I went to school for the fire science. This is actually, my legs were like completely effed up at this time.
Yeah, from the accident.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty tough.
So, I mean, I got my associates in fire science at the College of the Canyons.
Dude, I got to stop you for a second because I went to COC
Uh-huh.
and I took fire science classes.
Did you
I
really?
wanted to be a firefighter.
I wonder
too.
if we were in the same class.
That's
What
crazy.
year did you get your thing?
It's probably 2004.
I feel like
Oh, okay.
the other students would have blown up if they knew.
That's crazy. That's just a wild thing to have in common. Because
Was your teacher
my dream was
Patty?
to be a firefighter. I don't remember who my teacher was.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. I've done a lot of drugs since then.
Patty.
But yeah, that's wild that we had like that same exact. My dream was to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
And then I kind of
Mine was too, and then I did the whole EMT thing, and I was like, I don't think so.
Oh, did you actually start EMT?
I did.
Oh yeah, you see some
Yeah.
gnarly shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was a time when we were in the ambulance, and a girl had drank too much alcohol. She had alcohol poisoning, and we had to give her like activated charcoal.
Yeah.
And so they
A what?
activated charcoal. It's like literally charcoal in a syringe, and they put it in your mouth, and it induces vomiting.
Wow.
So she was just like vomiting everywhere, and they had like some like clamp to hold her mouth open because she was like, bah, And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
I had that,
Yeah.
but at the hospital.
Yeah.
I had to take a ride.
I mean, I give them props, like the people that do
Not
that,
too much.
because like
Yeah,
you
man.
see horrific shit.
You see horrific
Yep,
shit, and it
you're-
desensitizes you to a lot of stuff.
So
And
your drive to want to help has to be stronger than not being able to see the things along the way.
yeah, but, I mean, a little different from what turned me off to it was I was doing the Firefighter Explorer program a lot too,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of politics in it, and like
Mhm.
there's a lot of politics in acting as well, like especially when we were kids, like
Mhm.
but I would notice that the kids who had dads or uncles who were firefighters, they always got a chance to ride out before me, and like actually participate in calls and stuff.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was pretty good at it. Like,
Yeah.
I was in great shape and I worked my ass off, but
Mhm.
still always got passed up over some kid whose, uncle might've been a firefighter down across town.
If you told me you're in Little Rascals, that might have helped more than your dad being a firefighter.
Yeah. But you remember at the time, that was the peak time where I was trying to hide Little Rascals. Like I would actually tell people like, no, like
Mhm.
that wasn't me,
Yeah.
like it's only been a few years since I really started embracing it, but it wasn't something that I just didn't like that attention,
Oh, really?
it just wasn't
Did you
something
do
I
the whole
was into.
CPAT test and all that?
For the,
Like the whole physical test?
no, I never got that far.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I did the CPAT, but my legs were in such bad shape, and like I hadn't started working out yet,
Yeah.
so like the amount of physical endurance that you need to like do that stuff,
Yeah. It's
like
massive.
drag 100-pound dummy up a bunch of flights of stairs
Yeah.
and move them around in circles, and like take a hammer and hit a thing and like go up, and you have to do it within 9 minutes, and like I took that thing 3 times and I failed it every time, and I just said, I'm not going to do this till I've trained.
Yeah.
And I'm ready,
Yeah, at
that-
that
that's
point, you're
what
only
it's
trained to cry on cue,
Yeah. Yeah. At that point, you're just like, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I left that. And then I decided didn't know what to do. And then my buddy was doing mortgages, and he was like, oh, come to do mortgages. He's like, I'm making, 30, 40,000 a month. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, this was before the crash, 2007.
Yeah.
So I started doing mortgages, and like kids were coming in BMWs and Ferraris, and like I was
That
like,
was
okay,
a wild time.
yeah, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, I was making a ton of money doing that, and then that crashed in 2007, and the company I was working for got raided by the FBI.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
Another link in common.
Another link in common.
yeah, yeah.
This is crazy.
I was a ticket. I got into, after high school, I became a ticket scalper.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
it was like, actually the company I worked with, we became like one of the biggest ticket companies in the world. And
Wow.
we were shut down by the FBI in like 2009, raided 30 FBI agents. Like,
Holy shit.
it was insane. Like another little,
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it was funny because like we had like a 20,000 square foot building, probably about 150 people working in there.
Yeah.
And by the time the FBI came in, there was 6 people, and I was one of the 6 people left. They took the 6 people that had the highest sales,
Yeah.
and they kept us there for a month. So we would just go like make forts and like do all this crazy shit. And at the end of that month, we closed everything out, and they were just like, "You guys are gone too." So
Wow.
Okay, so then what?
man, then I did timeshare.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I did timeshare. That sucked. Because it's not like a necessity. It's not like people need these vacation packages.
And they're just sitting there trying to get out the room.
Yeah, and they put me as the guy doing the exit program.
Yeah.
So it was like you would meet with the main salesperson, that they were the one that would make the high end commission if they sold it.
Sure.
And then I would sell them an exit package. So they would like say no to that because they just want the free gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They get like a free cruise or something, which was all BS anyway because there were so many blackout dates you couldn't use it.
Yeah.
So you're like 3 days in the year, and then it was impossible. They would come to me and I'd be like, "Oh, well, I'll sell you this 1-year program. You guys can try it out, see if you like it.
Mhm.
If you like it, you can buy it at the resort and all this." I sold a decent amount of those, enough to survive,
Yeah.
but I couldn't. I got tired of doing it.
It's not enjoyable.
Yeah,
Timeshare is a rough way to make a living.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The accident happens. You recover from the accident.
yeah.
You decide you're going to step away. At any point, do you miss performing? Do you miss it? Like, do you miss the business?
Yeah, well, I mean, like 2013 when we did the 20th anniversary, the bug kind of bit me again because that was the first time I had signed autographs since I was like, 14, 15 years old. And seeing all the people that liked Sandlot, because I just thought Sandlot was something of my past. I was like, yeah, I moved on with my life. That kind of was like an awakening, like, oh, this movie still has legs. And I was like, well, maybe I'll try this again, I sent out headshots and resumes. An agent hit me up and said, "Hey, we'd like to come in. We're huge fans of the Sandlot." So I go in, and she hires me. And that year, I shot 3 national commercials.
All right on.
Yeah,
That's all, man. That's a great way to start.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
honestly
Good
like
little-
I'm really curious though, because
yeah.
a lot of former actors don't go back like auditioning again and like starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like starting from scratch, but like having the resume as a kid? Is that help? Does the agent use that? Like I have no idea.
I mean, there was times like I would go in for a part. They'd be like, "Oh man, we love Sandlot, but you're not good for this role."
So you get that. That's weird. Yeah.
But I was like, this was when the Jersey Shore was huge, and it was like, I would go audition for like these Guido roles. Like, I think the biggest one, I did an Old Spice commercial. I had to play a total Guido, like musclehead guy. And I was like in this room with all these other like buff guys. And I'm like, this is so different than when I was a kid, where I'm competing against kids. Now I'm competing against these bodybuilder guys.
Right.
Had an idea of what I was going to do in my head. It was good. I used some props and stuff. And I got the role for that. And I made a lot of money off that one. Old Spice actually did a website with my face on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, called the Spray Tan Guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I made good money because they had to renew it every single
Yeah.
year. So like that was a good one. Then I did like a Tecate beer commercial, and then I did a 7-Up commercial with Chelsea Handler,
All right on.
where I'm
But
curling
commercials pay the
weights.
bills. That's the best.
Huh?
Commercials like are a great way for a living.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to do that while you still can pursue anything else too.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was nice to like get my feet back in there and start doing stuff again. And the auditioning process was exactly the same. It was like, you can't find parking. You go in there, you're in a room, they're doing, you can hear the person through the door. And I was just like, okay. And I remember this.
What was it like auditioning with like as an adult, with all these other people who are trying to make it, and you already had this like pretty impressive body of work.
Yeah.
You know, like you've
Well,
been
the
doing
funny
this
about
most of your life
Hollywood-
already.
Yeah, the funny thing about Hollywood is like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, no shit.
Nobody cared about my body of work.
Yeah.
That was the craziest thing is like, I'm starring one of the most famous baseball movies ever made. No one gave a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what can you do now?
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you, you know. Had to reinvent myself, went back to acting classes,
Yeah.
found my old acting coach from when I was a kid, started going back to him.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's actually my documentary, which I give him so many props because when I got in that car accident, his wife actually, I lost so much blood. I had to have 4 different people donate blood
Wow.
with my blood type. And his wife was one of them. So like,
Oh wow.
Well, so you had a pretty tight relationship with this person.
yeah,
What was
Yeah.
his name?
John Homa. He ran a acting class called The Shop.
The Shop.
But his acting class as a kid had all the biggest stars.
Yeah.
Like Kirsten Dunst was in my class, and the kids from Home Improvement were in my class.
Yeah.
Andrew Keegan. I mean, so many big acting stars were in my class. So I know all these guys.
He does adults too. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's different classes.
Yeah. And a lot of these guys were in my classes as adults, you know. When I went back, I was like, oh my God, what's up, man? How are you?
It is kind of like that's the humbling experience. You have
Yeah.
to really learn acting when you're an adult, and it just it's different. And then as a kid, you get a little more freedom.
Uh-huh.
But are you able to approach it more relaxed now because you have that history versus like may not help you in the room,
Mhm.
but it makes you more relaxed because you've been on set, you've been in shows, you've been in stressful moments.
Yeah.
Other people in the auditioning haven't been.
Yeah. I mean, it's different now after COVID because you're not in a room anymore. You're self-tape.
It's self-tape.
That's what I've
everything,
So
heard.
it's like everything's self-tape.
So do you find that seems like it's better because you can get the tape you want,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like you lose out making a fan in the room, which is why a lot of us would get parts because the person
Yeah.
was rooting for you.
I mean, at the beginning, it was cool because I was like, I don't have to drive. I can just film this and do it as many takes as I want. And I wasn't getting as many roles when I was self-taping because you're not meeting the casting director. You're
Yeah.
not getting in there. And with self-tape, they're getting thousands of thumbnails because now anybody can do it. You don't have to live in LA. You don't have to live in New York. Anybody can do this.
Mhm.
So I was a little deterred because I was like, okay, there's a lot more people doing this now, and they're just looking through thumbnails. You're not in a room meeting the casting director,
Yeah.
you know, developing that relationship.
I think that's in the last acting class I did in college, it was Leslie Kahn's in Hollywood, and like
Mhm.
a lot of the week we spent was an audition week, and you literally got feedback from the other people in the classmates, like you came in with way too much energy, or you came in really calm and confident,
Mhm.
and that helped us feel good with you starting the audition,
Mhm.
and that was like a part of the training. I
Mhm.
feel like losing that, it brings it more back to the look
Yeah.
that you get away from
Yeah.
when you're in the room.
Yeah, the acting classes you could still go to, but it's the auditioning process is like so much different. It's just like, you know, setting it up and making sure the lighting's good. And like, I'm an actor. I'm
It's
not
like creating content now. It's
Yeah.
creating content more.
Yeah. And I'm like looking at some of these other actors' self-tapes. I'm like, Jesus, that looks fucking great. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to get a better camera, or like I need to have a better backdrop. And
You have to become a filmmaker for an
you do.
audition.
You
Right.
do.
Now you need an edge. You got to set yourself apart in a different way.
Yeah,
Like,
you
rather
gotta-
than
you-
a personal connection with a casting director.
Yeah.
You know.
You're a director, you're an actor,
Yeah.
and you're hoping you get in with these, you know, these casting directors that are looking at your tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only real link that you have, because you're not meeting them, is who you were as a kid.
Sure.
So they're looking at that going, oh, this guy from the Sandlot, let's see what he's got, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did get in a couple doors that probably other people couldn't get in, but at the same time, it's a much harder business.
Yeah.
And especially with social media. I mean, it's, you know, these vertical shorts everybody's doing now. I'm
Right,
auditioning
comes.
for those. There's no money in them.
Because they're non-union, right?
They're not union.
Yeah.
And I'm FICOR. So I'm like, you know, if you don't make enough money in SAG in the year, you can do FICOR to where you can do non-union and union.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm auditioning for those, and it's like, we'll pay you $300 for the whole shoot. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And you're not getting a trailer. You're not getting craft service.
Oh, you're not getting anything.
No.
Non-union. No.
Residuals.
Film
Nothing.
a few days, then move on to the next.
The crazy
Yeah.
thing is, I'm not booking a lot of this. I've actually done a couple big, like I did Abbott Elementary in October.
Oh, right on.
that's
They
big.
shoot on the
That's
same
awesome.
lot as my show, All American.
Yeah.
The Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Are you on the show, All American?
I was a camera assistant on it for like
Oh,
7
nice.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to the backlot of Warner Brothers, I remember I literally, when I was the first day I was on the lot, I went to the area where me and my mom did Delirious,
Oh,
and it just like,
That's
I
cool.
shed a tear because I was
Full
just like,
circle.
that's cool.
it was just like full circle, and like I can get into like what happened with my mom and everything, but it was like seeing that area just literally
Yeah.
made me fucking ball.
That's your
Like,
childhood.
Yeah, it was my childhood. That's what started everything for me.
We
Because
didn't grow up on the playgrounds in the same way.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
yeah, like if John Candy never gave me that number, who knows? You know. So
That's a crazy origin story though. Like that, it's very organic that you happen to just say a line, you weren't trying, and he saw
Yeah.
it. Like that's a cool way to get into it.
I mean, back then it was just like that. You know, it was like
Yeah.
people saw talent, they'd give you a shot.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore
It's
nowadays.
not. It's a lot more corporate, and like there's just so many
Political.
bullshit
Yeah.
politics and
And people are looking at what's the new popular thing.
Yeah.
And there's no, there's no heart or anything in it, anything anymore. It's
Agreed.
just, it's a cold business now.
Yeah.
Especially people talking about putting AI actors and stuff.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
I saw. I think Tilly Norwood was just shut down. I saw a post, but like I think that's what's nice for me. Like it's nice seeing you and seeing others
Yeah.
from Sandlot and other movies like really embracing it and
Mhm.
just enjoying life older
Mhm.
and seeing like fans love it and these Comic-Con presents. I think that's what's really nice about it. You can have that
Yeah.
and still audition and want to be an actor now,
Yeah.
but you don't have to sacrifice one or the other or shy away from it
Yeah.
because it's like we should be proud of what we did
Exactly.
and not let jealous people get in the way and feel like, why are you still holding on to it? Be like, are you still holding on to your pictures from a kid? Like,
Right.
it's our childhood. It's not
Well,
just
if they
like,
say,
it's the same.
oh, you're a has-been. Well, you're never was been.
I know. That's why
So,
I
there you
love
go.
that line in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Right.
Okay.
And, yeah,
Marty, do you have kids?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. I have like a hypothetical. Now that you've got some distance and you're older and you know how to navigate the business and you've lived this life, would you put your kids in acting and like, how would you handle that? Like, what would
If
you
they
do differently?
really wanted to do it,
Yeah.
probably. But I think it's a different ball game now.
Yeah.
It's not the same as it was when we did it. It's not.
Mhm.
It's much harder. And I think what makes money now are these YouTube videos and this TikTok stuff and like
it's a machine. Versus
it's a machine.
different.
It's not like it's not. There's no kids. I see a lot of this stuff and I'm like, these people don't have talent. There's no talent here.
Yeah.
We did everything in our era to gain the talent to do what we do.
They're manufacturing more fake lives. Like I have a 4-year-old girl and she'll watch these YouTube videos where it's like a family.
Uh-huh.
And I still wonder, I'm like, you're watching them eat breakfast and have their day. Like,
Yeah.
is that what you do on Mondays? And then Tuesday through Friday, you're a normal family?
Uh-huh.
Or is breakfast table like, okay, enjoy your breakfast, but now we're turning on the camera and pretend like it's not there. Like it's
Yeah.
that to me, the instant feedback of likes and comments.
Yeah.
I'm really happy we didn't grow up with that.
Did you see the
That's
documentary that was on Netflix about that family that
The influencers.
seemed like the perfect family?
Oh.
And then the woman and the guy that were the parents, like everything was perfect in their life and they lived in a nice 2-story home. And like, then the woman and the guy, they couldn't deal with each other anymore. They got divorced. So the woman moved in with this other influencer woman that's like, I'm going to make you
Yeah.
bigger. And they were abusing the children and keeping them in the closet. And like,
I've seen that.
it was crazy. I was like, what?
I haven't seen that. What's that called?
They made these weird YouTube channels.
Was it
of
the influencers?
kids doing content together? Yeah, it's like but it was I think it was in Utah.
Yeah.
The influencer agent is like this famous
Yeah.
influencer that had a whole like network of kids.
Yeah.
But they were like, okay, now make suggestive content like you're kissing, and they're like 13 because they saw their audience is
So
males.
gross.
Yeah.
But that's the
Yeah.
machine of it. Like
That's what it is now.
That's not
Yeah.
acting. It's just it's getting clicks.
But the
You can
crazy
see
thing
it
is
right
those
away.
people are making more money than we ever did because there's no middleman. All the money goes directly into them.
Sure.
Yeah.
And YouTube takes their little cut and gives them the money. And
But but like you said, there's no enjoyment. I think that is way more traumatizing for a kid because
Mm-hmm.
your mom can get mad at you if you like. My mom would get mad if I spoke too fast, but
Yeah.
she wasn't in the room,
uh-huh.
so she could just assume if I didn't get the call back.
Yeah.
But like your mom can go, you didn't get 1,000 likes for this video. We have to do it again. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't imagine dealing with that every night.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah. Because
be
you're
crazy.
you're basing your worth on if people are liking your stuff.
And you can check it every second.
It's crazy
That's-
because like
Instant feedback.
I don't know if this sounds cocky by saying this, but like I don't hold these people in the same regards as people in my industry, like actual actors.
Yeah.
And like I got into it with like, I don't know if you saw the documentary on the dance crew. That's like a cult.
No.
Okay, so there's these influencers and they dance right on the street and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So like I was in Vegas. I used to go to Vegas all the time. So I used to go to nightclubs all the time.
Yeah.
And there's a funny TMZ thing about Sandlot actor near-death hangover in Vegas on St. Patrick's. I have the
headline.
weirdest TMZ posts, but like,
Oh, we frame that. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah, it was like on St. Patrick's Day and I'd gotten wasted and I went back to my timeshare and I had drank too much and the maid came in and felt my pulse, thought I was dead.
So I wake up and there's like firefighters and paramedics
Oh,
and hotel staff and police officers. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing in my room? Like, get out of here, you know? And they're just like, looked at each other like, he's alive. Let's go.
He's fine.
Yeah. So weird. But yeah, these dance influencers were at this club and they were like, this is our table. So like, you need to get out of here. And I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Oh, we're the dance crew on TikTok. And I'm like, I'm in the fucking Sandlot. Get the fuck out of here. Like, and then my dude ran the club. He's like, hey, get out of here, to the whole dance crew. Get the hell out of here. You don't talk to him like that. So like, I don't know. Like, I just don't hold these people in the same regard because they're not coming back 30 years later like we are.
No.
You know,
There's like content creators. There's also some that are different levels. Some that just like fly by night, make a few videos, you get views, you're gone. There's some that use that and like you can see them leveling up to now they're working with like Mr. Beast or they're making films and they're now doing short films. Like those that create a media strategy, I think that have a vision, that's taking advantage of treating it like a business. Those that are just getting clicks on YouTube, like every channel is not an actor.
Yeah.
It's just a
Content
flavor of
creators
the
is
week
different.
thing.
Well, like I would get upset. I'm sure you had all the time growing up.
Yeah.
You say you're an actor and you don't really say you're in Sandlot. You just say I'm an actor.
Yeah.
And then no one's like, oh, I'm an actor too. And then you're like, well, wait a second. I was like,
What,
I don't want to
what
say
restaurant
this.
do you work at?
Yeah. I didn't want to say this, but I'm in
Yeah.
like people just say it. Like if you move here to become an actor,
Uh-huh.
if you don't have an agent and you're auditioning, you can't just say you're an actor. I'm trying to be something.
Uh-huh.
Been in
Like, you have
SAG
to
since I
earn
was
it.
6 years old.
Yeah, you have to
But then
earn
again,
it.
you don't want to say, hey, I'm an actor. I was in the Sandlot, which I've done a time or two. And
Yeah.
it sounds stupid, but it's like,
No, stand by it. But like
Yeah.
when people try to make it,
if you want to get in the
Sure,
front
yeah.
of a line somewhere, hey,
Yeah.
you've seen the Little Rascals.
Yeah.
I've tossed that line out a few times.
Yeah. Marty, I like to ask this question, but did you ever use the Sandlot to get laid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we. Just kidding. Yeah. Time
Yeah.
or two.
Sometimes it comes to,
Yeah.
a little bit of an advantage,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, most of the time they're like, what?
Yeah. Now it's like, what's that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another tool in the belt.
Yeah.
you
Like,
know?
is that a playground movie in the sand?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What is that? Yeah.
You mentioned Teamsy earlier. I'll just say it's funny because after we talked online,
Uh-huh.
you were going to be a guest.
And you
Like
saw
literally,
the video.
no, well, the next
Yeah, it
week,
popped right up.
the next week, I showed my wife like a week later. I'm like, wait a second. I'm scrolling my phone. I'm like, Marty York in a fight on TMZ, and I'm like, wait a second. Like, this is who I was just talking to.
Mhm.
But I watched, and it was like a pretty cool way to be on TMZ that was not negative.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it was framed. You looked pretty badass, at least.
Yeah.
I mean-
I would have fucking ran. Jordan probably would have tried you because
Yeah.
he's,
I mean,
scrappy.
it was weird. I was in a weird zone because I will admit I had a couple and I was coming out, and I think sometimes, like, I don't know if you've experienced this, but people will try to fuck with you.
Yeah.
To like, I don't know if you've had experiences with the paparazzi or anything like that.
Well, not paparazzi, but definitely people try to fuck with you, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've had paparazzi or people that ran like YouTube channels that have been waiting outside the club if like there's actors in there or whatever, and coming out and like talking shit or whatever, and like I've responded stupidly at certain times and said shit I might not have should have said. The guy was outside. I think it was somebody else running their mouth, and then he started talking shit to me, and I was at a pre-Oscars party.
Yeah.
And so I started walking, Lauren, it was like, just keep walking, just keep walking. And he said something, and then I turned around, and I was like, what, motherfucker? And then that's when I was like, all right, you want to do this? And I had an expensive shirt on. I'm like, I'm not going to get blood on this. Fucking took it off. I didn't realize, because I was a little hammered, the guy was 100 pounds heavier than me and like a foot taller than me. Then as soon as I squared up with him and like, alcohol died down a little bit, I was like, this guy's fucking huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, as long as I don't back down and act like I, know to fight, which I do, but I'm not a professional fighter.
Sure.
And at the same time, I was also thinking in my head, these people are trying to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
So I didn't want, and I could tell the guy was sloshed.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to engage with this guy, hit him in the face. He falls, cracks his head on the cement because we're fighting over cement. And then he sues me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said the video looked like you showed a lot of restraint.
I did.
Actually.
He kept coming at me, but he was beating his own ass, honestly. He was like throwing punches. Then he fell and hit his head on a parked car.
Oh.
So I moved around him.
And it was caught on camera, which is good. Like it clearly shows him just tanking down.
Yeah. And I was kind of like wobbly a little bit too, but like the guy was like, and he clocked me with one or two good punches, but I moved around him. And then it was funny because I just did a thing with like some of the Sandlot guys, and they're like, "Why didn't you smash him when he was down?" And I'm like,
It's not good.
"No, it's not good. It's not good." Then the media's gonna be like, "Oh, you hit a guy when he's down."
Yeah, because
No,
there's 10 cell phones filming you.
yeah, yeah, and you don't. I didn't even see any of that till like TMZ came out, and they called me on Monday and said, "Hey, by the way, there's a bunch of people that filmed you getting into a fight on the weekend," which I knew I got into, but I was like, hopefully this just doesn't hit TMZ. So I'm like, "Look, can you not air that, please?" They're like, "Unfortunately, we have to, because another company will air it if we don't."
Yeah.
So I said, "All right, well," and they're like, "Do you have a statement?" And I go, "The guy came at me and attacked me, and that's what happened." And I defended myself, but I didn't really have to because the guy beat his own ass.
Yeah, he looked pretty.
Well, it
he
looked
looked a
like you're
little
defending
fucked up.
yourself, though. That's
I
what
mean, I
like,
had my hands up, but I'm like hands are all the way up here, which you don't fight like that. But I wasn't planning on keeping him here to throw. I was planning on keeping him here in
it
case.
looks like you were avoiding him to avoid being in a public fight too.
Yeah.
So like the smart.
Yeah, I was trying to do that
Yeah.
because you know you get on, then you're on camera hitting a dude and him falling.
Yeah.
And
That's a
then-
whole nother set of issues.
Yeah,
There's not many good ways. Like
That's a different headline.
exactly.
the guy that played Reacher just got into one too, and like
Oh,
it turned out good for him when he saw both.
Well, the
camera
funny thing
angles.
about this is I'm freaking out because I'm filming this documentary. So I call the producer the next day and I'm like, "Hey, TMZ just called. They want to air this shit." He's like, "Fuck," freaking out, like, "Oh my god, I hope this is gonna be bad press," and like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do?" And I said, "Well, let's just see what the video looks like," because I didn't know what it looked like. And he goes, "Oh, it's not that bad." He's like, "You just look like you're avoiding the dude."
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
looked like he fell, so you don't look like you're a bitch. Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah. This might work out in our favor.
I mean, I got a lot of friend requests and people following me from it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
dude.
okay.
No press is bad
Like, I
press.
think
they
people
say.
were like, I didn't know. Yeah, I was yoked or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean-
that was what I'm like, Jesus, Marty's fucking jacked.
I mean, there's always trolls that are gonna be like, you know, hiding behind private accounts with no profile picture. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you can't fight. Fuck you. This and
Yeah,
that." I'm like,
totally.
you don't even have a profile picture, and you're hiding behind a private account.
Yeah.
Not only are you hiding behind your computer, you're hiding behind a private account.
Yeah.
did the
Jordan
smart
loves
thing.
calling those out. It's
Yeah,
pretty
you did
fun.
you did the smart thing in this day and age, which is like you defended yourself
Yeah.
and you got to look like you're waiting for him to hit you, and then you could do something if you need to, and otherwise you're not
Yeah.
going to attack.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
I mean, technically, it would have been self-defense, but it's like California, so it's like
Yeah.
if this happened in Tennessee, where you know Reacher beat the hell out of that guy, it's a different state. So
Yeah.
it's like they can stand your ground in that state.
Yeah.
Here, everybody goes to jail.
Yeah.
And
Well-
if you're the victim, they don't care. Like the victims are the ones that are screwed in this
Well,
thing.
and really, there's also the new age criminal court of social media. So
Yeah.
you can be totally in the right,
Mhm.
but if the videos say something otherwise or the comments say otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
now your representation or the documentary or whatever it is goes on the back burner just because of what the news slant says. So like
Yeah.
that's the biggest part we all like everyone has to avoid is
Yeah.
what social media becomes.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't know what people filmed. So
Mhm.
at the same time, I was kind of self-aware that people were filming me, but not really, honestly. I mean, I heard people all around me, but I had a couple drinks, so I wasn't like thinking, okay, then I saw the video, I'm like, holy shit, there's like 15 people filming me. Like,
Well, not only that, but like you also have the adrenaline of like, you know, like getting in a fight and like
Yeah.
your whole world kind of narrows.
exactly.
you
You're
know,
looking
like the
directly at the person.
Yeah, like none of the other shit matters, and that's
'Cause you're-
kind of I think that's how people make massive mistakes. You know,
Yeah,
But it seemed like you
you're
handled
avoiding
yourself pretty
punches.
well.
So you're
Yeah.
waiting for the guy to throw a punch to avoid it, and you're not paying attention to anybody else.
Yeah,
But-
totally.
And you mentioned you're working on a documentary.
Yeah, so I'm doing a doc called Beyond the Lot. It was originally titled The Sandlot Legend, but there's trademark problems with that.
Right.
Which Beyond the Lot I like better because it kind of goes beyond the lot into my life, and I have a lot of child actor friends in it. I have the cast of Boy Meets World. I have all the Sandlot guys, a lot of actors, you know, like the bad guy from Dumb and Dumber that eats the peppers, and I got like tons of actors in this thing because the producers know a lot of people as well. They put in it.
Yeah.
But it goes into my life, the business in general. Because, you know, I mentioned to you guys I got in the car accident.
Mhm.
After the car accident, you know, I was doing these random jobs. And then in 2017, my sister died of a drug overdose.
I'm sorry to hear
man.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of set forth a whole pattern in my life. It really screwed me up. Because at that point, Sandlot was really still something in my past. And the next year we did the 25th anniversary and it just blew up and it was like crazy. And it kind of helped me to cope with the death of my sister because the guys were there to help me through it because I was a mess, you know? after that, my mom, who was in her 60s, decided, who's a crazy person, because everything she's ever said she was going to do, she's done. So she was an animal wrangler for films when we first came to LA. And she got hired to be in Army of Darkness as the lead wrangler. So that's like never heard of. It was directed by Sam Raimi, who directed Spider-Man, Toby. The Teamsters didn't like that my mom had no experience, and she just came in here and Sam gave her the job as the lead wrangler.
Sure. Because it's a union position.
Yeah.
Right.
So they tried to do a lot of shit. They tried to make the horses fall on top of themselves and all that. Like, you know, kicking the horse in the side or like, and pulling it over, you know. They did a lot of shit to my mom, and she was able to like power through things, you know. And then after that, she did a bunch of films as a animal wrangler, from like dogs to like horses to cockroaches to like everything, you know.
Yeah.
So we lived on this ranch. There was always weird animals in my house. And then she wanted to be a producer. So then she started getting into that. Then when my sister passed, she wanted to be a sheriff in her 60s. So I said, Mom, you're old. My mom's like this big and like 105 pounds, you know?
Yeah.
Little redheaded woman, like crazy.
Yeah.
She was like, I was like, Mom, it's not a good idea. Like, you're going to get hurt. This is being a cop, you know? Mm-hmm. You got to be out there. She's like, no, I can do it. I can do it. I need to get drugs off the street after what happened to Nadia, my sister. So she did it, and she took all the tests, ran the same amount as the 30 and 20-year-olds, got sprayed with mace, learned how to shoot a gun, learned how to fight, and she got in. At 60,
resilient, Jesus.
64 years old, she got in.
Oh, she's pretty badass.
When people are retiring, she got in.
Yeah.
I talked to her, but we kind of parted ways after I went to the police academy graduation. I hadn't heard from her in a while, and I didn't know she had a relationship with this guy that she was dating. So I was in Vegas, October 2023. I was in my hotel room, and I get a call from the police station. They said, your mom has passed away. And I said, what are you talking about? Like, in the line of duty? And they go, no, her significant other took her life. So my mom was murdered by someone she was seeing. And I didn't know that my mom was seeing this other guy. The guy that I knew that my mom was seeing was this old man. And I'm like, there's no way my mom would kick his ass. But she was seeing this other guy I'd never heard of. They sent me his mugshot. They're like, he ran as soon as, you know, he found, you know, as soon as he committed the crime, he ran. My mom lived on the Oregon border. So this guy basically ran across the Oregon border to a homeless encampment and was staying there. And he wouldn't have been found if not the media didn't get involved. So once the media picked this story up, it was on every single channel. Chauncey, who plays Squints, was in Italy at the time. Called me. He's like, bro, you're on TV here in Italy. Like, what is happening? Like, you said shit about your mom. And I said, I didn't believe it. I go, yeah, dude, it's real. And it was very heartbreaking. And because of this media coverage of what happened to my mom, they put nationwide manhunt going on for this guy. They ended up finding him the next day at this homeless encampment because some guy looked on his phone and saw Star of the Sandlot's mom murdered. And he was like, I just gave that guy a ride across the border to this homeless encampment.
Wow. Yeah.
So he reported to the police and the guy got arrested. So my documentary kind of goes into like that happening too, you know? Because it's not something you're ever prepared for. It's not something you think you see it on TV. You don't think it could happen to you.
Right.
So I had to go through that. And, you know, it was a very difficult period in my life. And then I'd been approached by people to do a documentary on my life because of the car accident of my sister, of my mom, my acting career. So I did a mini 12-minute documentary for NBC Peacock, and people were hitting them up being like, I want to see more. It's like, is there more to this? And they were like, no, you know, it's just a little 12-minute short story.
Yeah.
And people were really into it. And I was in the Frolic Room in Hollywood one day, and I was having some drinks. You've been in the Frolic Room?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like little dive-hole bar.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to this guy that looked like a Marlon Brando, and he was having some shots, and I was like, hey, give me some shots. You know, we started talking to each other. I go, you look like Marlon Brando. He's, oh, thanks, man. I'm a producer. And I go, oh, yeah, what do you produce? He's like, I do documentaries. We just came from the documentary from Michael Madsen. You know Michael Madsen?
Yeah.
So they did his documentary, American Badass. So I started telling him my life story. I'm drunk, start telling him my life story. He goes, Marty, this story is crazy. We have to do your documentary.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. I go, yeah, sure. Hollywood talk. I don't believe you. Wake up the next morning. There's like all these text messages. Where are you? Why aren't you on the Zoom call? I'm like hungover. I'm like, the fuck?
The Zoom call.
This was real?
Yes.
I get on the phone with him. I go, dude, we got like 10 people in here right now. I go, what? Get on the Zoom call. They're like, Marty, you arrived. Thank. We start talking about it, and I've been filming now for like 2 years, this documentary about my life and beyond the Sandlot, and all my acting friends have joined and they've gotten involved in it, and they've, talked about me on Boy Meets World and what the experience was like working with me and just my story,
Yeah.
It's just like, being in the industry we've been in
Mm-hmm.
and overcoming the things we've had to overcome. And I think it's a story of resilience.
Absolutely.
And you're the one making it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case.
Yeah. I mean, I have a say in everything, the music and how I want things to go. And I'm actually part producer on it as well.
It's awesome.
So I'm learning how to do it, but documentaries are so much different than filming, what we've done, movies and TV, because, you do that, there's a set schedule. We're going to film this day and this day. With that, you got to do it as you can. So it's like, went back and filmed my childhood home, went back and filmed my childhood school, have a studio rented out to film Danielle this day and Ryder this day, and, getting all the people in and all the Sandlot guys in and doing it in different locations to make it look, nice.
Right.
So
that's really cool, because
That's
it gives you, but it's also like a way you can tell the story. And like, unlike some of the documentaries that are on TV now related to child acting, they're always, like we talked about, a negative aspect for clicks.
yeah,
You might have some aspects that aren't all positive, but it's life. It's not to show one or the other. It's just to show what you've done, and you come out of it and you're still acting, still trying to do things. And still,
It shows a pretty great
that's cool.
story of resilience on your part. I mean, you've been through some emotional atom bombs.
yeah,
It's wild.
yeah. And it's been, difficult to keep going after something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, one thing my mom always told me was, never give up.
Yeah.
And I've taken that with me to every aspect of my life. And also the gym's helped a lot too. It's like, it's a way to release things without doing drugs or drinking or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's also, I feel like that's a really nice way to get connected with people in the way that you want to.
Yeah.
Like they can see the TMZ story and think one thing. They can see Sandlot and think one thing, but like to actually understand you and your life growing up, like that's really important. There's not a lot of us that
It humanizes you a lot more than just, being in the Sandlot,
Yeah.
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 No. But like you said, you've been a magician. You've been like, you've worked for timeshares. You've done always regular things.
Kind of
on
like
top of it.
Forrest Gump's life.
Yeah, right.
But like you tried every different thing in different ways, but you kept like, I'm gonna try to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
But that took a lot of work to even be able to see it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
There's no shortcuts. So like, that's the life a lot of people live, and you have background, and it's nice you can have it culminate in something that you care about and get to put together.
Yeah. As long as we keep going, and, a lot of child actors go the wrong way, and
So we got to stick together.
yeah.
You mentioned earlier about a support group.
Yeah. Child actor support group.
Yeah. I think the guy's last name was Peterson. I do remember that. He was on My Three Sons or one of those old shows.
Uh-huh.
But he did hit me up and he was like, come to this child actor support group. And I was like, I'm good, man. Like, I'll find my way through this,
Yeah.
Because he was seeing TMZ stories about like, I've been through a lot of shit in my life, and he was, wanting me to join and talk about it. And I'm like, at that time, I was like in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I was like, I think I'm good.
Yeah. I can see
Yeah.
that.
I always said the same at that age.
Yeah. I just kind of wanted to like move away from that and do my own thing and not commit to going to a child actor rehab center or something.
Yeah. This is my rehab.
That's good, man. That's good.
Earlier you mentioned John Candy, but I wanted to ask you, like, were there any other actors or, celebrities throughout your career that had like a major impact on your life, who like you still think about that meeting or that interaction and it changed you?
It was weird, is like I became friends with Dustin Diamond, who was Screech on
Oh,
Saved by
yeah.
the Bell.
Oh yeah.
Because I was on Saved by the Bell college years when I
Sure.
was 14, I think. I also became friends with Jonathan Brandis.
and he was also on the same episode I was on. It was a Thanksgiving episode.
Okay.
So they had all these stars. Brian Austin Green was on it, and they had all these, at that time, some of the biggest actors in the business.
A couple of covers of Teen Beat magazine.
Yeah, all the it was like a Teen Beat magazine. Like
Yeah.
literally all these. I'm like, oh my god, John Brandis, and there's Zach Morris, and and I had watched that show every day when I came home from school, and the person I became friends with was Dustin Diamond Screech.
Yeah,
and it was funny because I saw how they treated him on the set, and it was fucked up. That there was a Thanksgiving episode, and they had a turkey on a table, and I remember the turkey fell, and he was making a joke like he was picked the turkey and was giving it CPR, but it pissed them off because he fucked the scene up or whatever. They're like, gee, you fucked the scene up, and like they were getting mad at him or whatever. And I became friends with him, and I was talking to him, and afterwards he was like, you want to go roller skating? He's like, I like roller skating. So we went to a roller skating rink. I had my backpack with me because I was on set school.
Yeah.
I remember I left my backpack with him, and I had my mom come pick it up. And I saw him in 2020. I did one Comic-Con because it was during COVID. It was in Tennessee because they didn't wear masks or anything. They didn't care.
Yeah.
But he was there, and I go, hey, Dustin, you remember me? And he goes, yeah. He's like, Marty, you left that red and black JanSport backpack with me. I go, you remember that? He's like, yeah, man. We went roller skating. Your mom picked it up. I'm like, oh, that's cool, bro. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
and I noticed he had a large growth on his neck.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you okay, man? What is that? Like, he's like, oh, it's nothing, man. I just got a sore throat. And I go, no, that's something bad, dude. Like, and all he did was eat sugar. Like, I was like, bro, you're eating ice cream. He had a 6-pack. He drank 2 6-packs of soda, like Coke. And I'm like, bro, you can't do that. It's so bad for you.
Yeah, it catches up to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, you live like that and you eat like that, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we hung out. There's a whole other story to this I don't want to go into because it might make him look bad.
Yeah. No, I like to remember him in the best way possible.
Yeah, I want to remember
I
him in the
loved
best
him as
light.
a kid,
Yeah. So it was pretty funny. An incident happened. Like he was in a room with Felissa Rose, who was in a sleepaway camp. She was the girl in that. And then me and the guy that played Doofy in Scary Movie, and my buddy Vic, who was Timmy in Sandlot.
Yeah.
She's like, Dustin, get out of my room. And we all came to the room. And like me and Dustin were kind of fucked up when I took a picture with him. But then February came around and he passed away, and I saw it and I was like, oh man, that's of throat cancer,
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck.
Oh, that's
But he left a big impact, because it was like someone that I watched in my childhood that made a big difference in my childhood, and they took me under their wing and remembered me, and
yeah,
that was cool.
So now that you're not so little and you have all this experience and perspective at this age, if you could walk back into the industry, what would you do if you could do anything?
If I could come back as an actor at an adult age?
Actor, director, producer, anything.
grip.
I mean, I would love to be in a comic book movie since I loved comic books as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I love The Boys.
I love The Boys.
Man.
I freaking love that show, man.
Comes back
That's something
soon.
you and I would comment also. I'm a big comic book guy, and I remember
Yeah.
reading The Boys for years. And
Uh-huh.
it was one of my favorite books. And
Yeah.
the show actually, that's one of the rare instances where the show actually did the book justice. I thought it was like
Tony Starr is brilliant. Man.
killer.
I mean, that's one of the best TV villains I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, incredible. Like
Like-
menacing.
You literally feel scared for the people about what's going to happen. I mean, because you imagine, like, if you had all the powers of Superman, but you were evil,
Yeah,
and it's like, you could fuck shit up.
yeah,
Well, it's also, it became such a great show as the political climate kind of started happening. And it was almost like
totally.
it was an accident
Yeah.
that worked in the favor because
Mhm.
I looked up who he was before in other work. I'm like, he's so different. in
Yeah.
his past work, like he did such a good job. in that
Banshee, he
role.
was great in Banshee.
But
like-
great show.
Yeah.
The oddity of the show and the climate of things, you're like, this feels very purposeful, but it couldn't have been.
Yeah,
But it's that show's great. But
I love
that's
that
a cool
show.
way
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that's cool to do it not because it's popular, but because you grew up just being a fan.
Yeah. I would just love to do something fan wise, like love Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Would love another shot love a shot if Hugh ever.
He's
To
gonna
play
die. He's
that
gonna die with the claws.
Yeah, to be that character would just be awesome, man. But I mean, I would just like to play maybe like a new character that they haven't introduced yet, and
yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Well, it's not too late. You're still
Hey, man.
going after it, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could definitely.
I'm
see
just I'm hoping the documentary also opens doors too.
Yeah,
And
I'm sure it
people
will.
really, that's the nice thing about it is I want to show people a side of me that they haven't seen, and I want people to laugh. I want them to cry.
Yeah.
I mean, I do skits with
Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah, another class. I mean, I love that movie too.
Yeah, he's
What's his name?
I do
Producer.
Thomas Ian
What's his
Nicholas.
name? What is it?
Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Okay.
I'm friends with him. He's in the doc, and we do a funny skit in it. And yeah, it's just a fun little thing. It's with child actors as well as showing who I am.
I think that will help you because I feel it's not. It sounds like it's not trying to do something.
Yeah.
But once, like in the way culture is now with entertainment, if people like you, that's the best next step to getting into something. It's
and
not
documentaries are so
something else.
popular. Like they're just.
I was just watching the one on Lamar Odom last night.
Yeah, I was watching the one too on the cyclist girl that Mariah or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're just you look every time a documentary, especially like a murder mystery documentary comes out, it's always like number one. So this is
Says a lot about our culture.
This takes that times 10.
Yeah.
Because it goes into so many other things, you know.
But you have the hook for people to care versus just this is the headline of a cyclist who had was murdered and this happened as like the headline.
Yeah.
You're in a beloved movie, and people are rooting for you to do well, and that's what
absolutely
shows now. Like that's what's cool.
Exactly.
I like to ask this question because you look back at your career and the body of work and all the things that you've been through. You know, specifically like the Sandlot. And, are you proud? Like, you look back on it, like, do you feel proud of your career and like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of everything the Sandlot stands for. I mean, it stands for inclusion. It stands for friendship. I think more than baseball, the Sandlot's a movie about friendship.
Yeah, so I agree.
You know, to include a bunch of kids that wouldn't normally hang out but are brought together by an all-American sport. I think that's really the draw of Sandlot, that you don't have to be the most popular dude, but you have your crew.
Right.
And when your crew gets together, you guys can mess stuff up. You know, you guys can be the best.
And life can be easier.
Yeah, life can be easier because you have your crew. It's like, it's funny, Brandon Adams, who played De Nunez, he's also on the Mighty Ducks. And he said this to me. He's like, the Mighty Ducks are like a team. You guys are we're like a gang.
Yeah.
Like the Sandlots are the tough kids,
Yeah.
That live in a tough neighborhood but we don't put up with shit. We hold our own and we could play ball.
Yeah. But are also vulnerable and like, give, the underdog a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my favorite things about that movie is, they opened their lives to, what was the character's name? Smalls,
Yeah.
And, feeling alone and scared in a new town and you don't have anybody to accept you. And like this movie is about acceptance.
Exactly.
And brotherhood and, it's an important movie. Like to me, like I said, it's on my Mount Rushmore. I love it. And like, and I was actually thinking, I was like, one of the coolest pieces of memorabilia I could possibly get would be a baseball signed by, the guys from the Sandlot. So since you're our first guest from the Sandlot, I'd be honored if you would be the first to sign the ball.
And look at that. You have a ball ready right there.
Whoa, out of nowhere.
One thing though, you're going to have to I can never, you have it open.
Yeah.
Those things are the hardest cases to open.
We're going to add this.
Marty, let me just tell you, it took me about 15 minutes to get it open.
Just a note.
After I bought it.
Just a note, when you sign baseballs, there's like a film over them.
Yeah.
Sometimes Sharpies are the worst thing. Sometimes pens are the best thing. Like a ballpoint pen.
Okay, hold on a second. We're going to pause for 1 second. I know where some pens are.
Because this will smear. A ballpoint pen.
No, this idea is really fun though. It'll be cool to collect these.
Just trust me, I've signed a couple of these.
Honestly, how many do you think you've honestly signed?
Oh my god, dude, probably 50,000. Probably.
It's insane.
I mean, when we do signings,
Do they make Sandlot branded like baseballs?
yeah, they do.
Well, like to bring for those.
They make Sandlot branded baseballs. They make Sandlot shirts. They make hats. They make shot
Are you
glasses.
allowed to make things with Sandlot without getting like someone own that name
Um,
in general?
The
Because like I don't think we're gonna get in trouble for Rascals.
The crazy thing is like,
Hold on.
on Amazon they
Do you
sell.
mind if I take a photo, Marty?
Yeah.
While you're signing it?
Yeah, sure.
Will you hold it up?
Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Awesome.
That's awesome. Glad you thought of that.
Yeah. Thanks, Marty.
Yeah,
It means a
for
lot,
sure,
man.
Thank you.
Now you guys got to sign some kind of little rascal paraphernalia or something. What do you guys do? What are you guys doing there?
Yeah.
We're not cool enough to have like be attached to a sport. Like that's.
And you guys have a
that's
dog
awesome.
in your movie too.
Yeah.
I know.
Yours is a little bigger.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. Well, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you doing this with
Yeah,
us.
man.
Like,
Thanks
you
for
know,
having me.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
We felt like we've been connected without meeting each other for decades.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Means a lot,
And
Marty.
if we do podcast, we'll have you guys on.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. Thanks, Marty.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
for sure.
Hit like, comment, and subscribe. Or we're going back to auditioning for dad number 3.